We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Hopefully most of you, hopefully all of you, recognize those words from the Declaration of Independence. I suggest you read it if you haven't read it ever or lately. You might want to throw in the Constitution as well. Tomorrow is Independence Day. We celebrate the 240th anniversary of the adoption of that declaration by the Founding Fathers of the Continental Congress. But did you know, you don't hear it often, did you know that over 50 of the 56 signers of that declaration were professing Christians? Did you know that 29 of the 56, a little over half, held what we today would call a theological degree from a Bible school or a seminary? They were prepared to preach. Have you ever heard of the Black Robe Regiment? That was a group of pastors not connected by email and Snapchat or Instagram or anything else. They just knew it was the right thing to do. Those pastors encouraged and led their congregations in the Revolution, the American Revolution. Not only by encouraging them to participate and to be involved, but by encouraging them to take up their muskets and go fight for their freedom. In fact, some of those pastors were the first ones out the door with their muskets, and they led the fight against tyranny. So Christians were very actively involved in the founding. How does that relate to what we have today? You know that over 50% of Christians, or about 50% of Christians today, are not even registered to vote. And of those 50% that are registered, half of them don't vote. The end result is 75% of Christians today, roughly, can't be bothered, don't have the time, are too busy to vote. I'm not asking for a show of hands, but we had a primary on June 7th in North Carolina. I hope everybody in here voted. That's eligible. Where would that level of commitment that I just described, where would that have gotten us in 1776? My guess is we'd still be answering to a king other than King Jesus. And some people will say, we've got to keep the government out of the church. And I couldn't agree more, amen. But we better not keep the church out of the government. If we do that, we get what we've got now. If we keep God out of politics, then we have ungodly politics. If we keep God out of the culture, then we have an ungodly culture. And it is up to us to address that, folks. We know about the founding generation. We've read about them. I could talk for a long time, and I promised Mike I wouldn't. But we know about the founding generation and the great things that they did and the sacrifices they made for us. And we thank God for them. We know about other generations throughout American history. The Civil War generation went through a terrible time, a dark time in our history, but they came through it. And through Reconstruction. And they salvaged our nation. And we thank God for it. We've heard about the World War II generation. A generation that sacrificed so much and worked so hard to lead the United States to victory over Nazi Germany and imperialistic Japan. And we thank God for it. It's our turn. This is our generation. History will look back on us. The question is, will it look back on us favorably? Will future generations look back on our time and say, remember that generation? And will our example be one that encourages them to step up in their time, as will surely come? Or will our generation be the one that our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren look back and say, why didn't they do anything? would they sit there and let this happen to our country? The answer to that question is up to us. Each one of us has to make that decision. I want to encourage you to get involved, to participate. We need to pray, but I can't find anywhere in the Bible any example where God said, pray and then just sit back, I'll handle everything. He expects us to do our part. He'll be there with us. He'll give us everything we need to do, the job that He wants us to do, but He expects us to get up and go to work. If you're interested in getting involved more than you might be right now, and this applies to anybody, I don't care how old you are or how young you are, then my friend Mike Charles is going to tell you about something that's going on around the nation and how you can be a part of it.
Folks, we do reside in the United States of America. We do have a government. Believe it or not, we have a say-so in that government. We need to be involved. Mike stated some pretty dire statistics about Christians. That's sad. But there are things that we can do. A lot of people say, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to get answers. Last year, Mike and I attended a conference to learn how to initiate something here at Trinity Baptist Church. We are getting ready to launch this. We're going to call it a Cultural Impact Team. There's different names people have used over the years for different things of this nature, but ours is called the Cultural Impact Team. This is sponsored by the Family Research Council. And basically, it's going to give us resources to be able to find out voting records. What's going on in the community? What bills are coming up? There's just a ton of information that we're going to have at our disposal. And we are going to assemble a team here at Trinity Baptist Church. So my main purpose this morning is to give you some information to see who would like to be involved in being on that team. It's not something that just one or two people can do. There's a lot of things to be done. You say, well, I've never had a job in the church. This is a good place to start. Folks, there are nobody on retirement in the Christian community. You've got talents and you've got gifts. One of the things that this does, it says that this was developed by the Family Research Council. It has a website. It's called cultureimpact.org. And the motto is to inform, to ignite, to impact. That's what we want to do here at Trinity, but I want to read something to you. This is to provide in-house leadership for congregational response to the moral and social issues that impact the community, the state, and the nation. We are going to help you be informed of what you can do, how to pray, how to write letters, how to do things, to answer questions. And then it's up to you through prayer to make your decision what you want to do. But I would like to see a lot of people get involved in this. You say, Mike, I don't want to be on the team. That's okay. We're going to provide you the resources, but we do need some people to help us. So if you would be interested in learning more, you want to talk to myself or Mike Falkenberry, please holler at us, call us, grab us in the hall, whatever. But if you want to look and see what this is on your own, go to www.cultureimpact.org. And there's a great website on there. And there's a lot of information. But that's what we're wanting to start here at Trinity Baptist Church. Thank you.